So this is a repeat customer. We picked his bike up about a year ago. The guy's had this from brand new since 1988. And he left it in his garage sitting for a few years. So then he gave us a call, picked it up and basically rebuilt the carbs, put 2 new tyres on it, give it a detailed clean and polish all over, and delivered it back to him. Now, he didn't ride it again for about 6 months, and he just called me up like last week and said it's not starting again. I didn't ride it. He knows he's supposed to. So I went and picked it up a few days ago now, took the carbs back off, cleaned the jets out, put a new battery on it, detail clean it again. She's ready to go again. So anyway, we're just about to load it up now on the trailer, so I'll show you what that looks like. Already taken it for a little test ride. Car's ready to go. That's about it. So put this side stand down and then we'll strap it all up. Keep it in gear so it doesn't roll back. I'll also strap it in front so it doesn't slide back. I'll also strap the kickstand so the kickstand doesn't fall away. All of this stuff obviously I found out the hard way. So if you're gonna transport a bike, there's a lot of things you have to take care of, otherwise you'll end up dropping it, or even worse, it hits on the side and you damage it. So that's what we're doing. So first thing I do, basically tie the front wheel around here. You can tie it or you can strap it. Strapping it would probably be better, but tying it's okay as well, just as long as the bike is not going to slide backwards on you when you're driving along. That's all this is for. Tie that. And also tighten away so you can undo the knot when you get to the other ends. You don't want to do like 3 granny knots in a row and then you can't even get it off. And then we want about at least 2 straps, maybe 3 or 4, depending on how the bike feels. Obviously, this is quite a small, light bike. Some bikes are really big and heavy, and they definitely take more securing, you know. In there. And then the next thing you're looking for is when you're strapping it around the handlebars, you don't want it pinching on any wires, you don't want it pinching on any cables or anything, because as you're going along, it might damage it, it might rip it. So when you thread this through here, you've got to be really sure that when this is tight, it's not going to pinch on anything, pull on anything. So that's about right there. Spare tyre in case you get flat. And we're also going to strap this side. So find a good place here, which same deal. Don't pinch anything. Make sure it's not going to slip off as well. That should just about do the trick. Alright, so strap this side first because you want to like kind of bring the bike this way. If you start strapping that side first, you can potentially tip the bike over. So you do this side first. Alright, crank it up a little bit, not too much. Then we're going to go crank the other side. there. So you see how the forks are compressing? That's when you know you got it really good. So you could leave it like that, but my feeling is if one of these straps fail, which it could happen, you know, the ratchet could fail, then you're completely going to lose one side of the strapping and the security of that. So at least on this side I like to put 2 straps. And then should be pretty much all right. So another place you can strap it is around the forks here on the triple tree. You just have to position the anchor point a little bit different so you can get an angle through it or up to it where it's not going to touch on the radiator or the hoses. So through here, and if it is touching like it is there, ideally you don't want that really rubbing, so you want to try and find a bit better place there. That's better, at least it's not on the hose. Yeah. A beautiful bike this is. 1988, would you ever believe? That's a 1988 bike. That's when they really made stuff well, especially Honda. And actually, I like this bike that much after working on it today that I'm going to keep an eye out for one. If I find one cheap, someone's getting rid of it, you know, it needs carb rebuild, stuff like that. The reason being is very much like a Ducati Monster, you know, 650, 700, whatever the Monsters are. But the build quality is way better and it's so easy to work on. Like, I can't even believe how easy this bike is to work on. The gas tank, super simple how it comes off. The seat just pops on the latch. It's a single-sided swing arm, so you can really easy to take the wheel off and change the tyre. Even with the exhaust on, you don't have to take the exhaust off. Front wheel's really easy to take off. Everything's simple, but it's actually a really nice bike to ride. It's a V-twin. It's a bit like a Ducati Monster, so highly recommend one of these if anyone's out there looking for a good around town type of bike. Not the fastest thing in the world, but still got plenty of torque, plenty of speed, and it looks really nice. Like, I love it. Definitely is. Oh yeah, one more thing we have to do is you can either tie or strap the kickstand, which is here. The reason we do that is when you're transporting it, it can rock a little bit, even if you've got it in gear. And if that flips out on you, I mean, if you strapped it properly, it shouldn't matter, but it can make the bike topple over. So then make sure this kickstand pulled continuously forward, and then you've not got any worry or any chance of that happening. Now, some people that transport bikes say you should transport with the kickstand up because it can damage the bike. There is something to that, but if you've taken kind of a lot of the weight and pressure off the kickstands by strapping it over more on this way, which is why I put 2 straps on there, then there's not going to be as much force digging into the trailer. And for me, it's just that extra little bit of assurance that for some crazy reason, if all the straps just failed, at least you still got it on the kickstands, you know. But ideally, you want to be pulling over every so often and checking your straps, making sure they're tight, make sure they're not getting loose, see what's going on. Especially if you're going for like an hour or something, you can't just assume that everything's okay back there. So as long as you're doing that, well, because at the end of the day, the last thing anyone wants to do, whether it's your bike or a customer's bike, is drop it. Like, the damage that can be done, you know, if that dropped now onto the trailer, full gas tank respray, you know, it could cost at least $1,000. So you've got to be really careful with it. fastest way to really piss a customer off is damaging their bike. So just taking that extra care of everything. Doesn't take much more time or effort. So then, final check. Pretty good. Not going too far, I'm going to go really slow as well. About it. Right. So, like I say, I'm gonna take it to the customer now. Nearly, I'd say 80% of all the bikes that we work on at the shop, I do the pickup and drop-off service. The reason for that is, if a bike doesn't work, how are they going to get to the shop? You know, they can rent their own trailer. Maybe they don't really have a tow hitch. Maybe they just don't have the time. So this is a great way for me to make it super convenient for the customer and get the jobs turning around as fast as possible. Get there, pick it up, come and bring it back, do the job, take it straight back. Not wait till, say, the customer is going to come next week when they got time or whatever. So very important part of the business, this is using the trailer, picking up and dropping off.